guys, back again. Whew, I'm out of puff. I've been chasing my beagle around. Having to play with him is really fun. He's playing really nice this morning. Right, I've tied my hair back. I just had a shave, a lovely close shave. What I'll do is put my selfie stick up, tuck that bit down. There you go, how's that? I can't have the camera dead in front of me, guys, because I'm going to do my makeup. But I'm all shaved, super smooth. I'll put that under there. Move the selfie stick there, guys, so you get... That's as close as I can do you. There you go. Oh, get out of it. Right, I'm huffing and puffing there. Lovely. Right, here we go. Right, Sloop's gone back in the front room, laying in the sunshine. I'm going to do my makeup now, guys. I need to get some more of this, it's Rimmel Stay Matte. That one, I think it's 005, yeah, 005. Got to get some more of that today. I'm on the dregs now. I always have spares of everything, and that was the spare. I forgot to replace it. Anyway, let's do this first. Oops, sorry guys. Oh. Right, do you like the Cardi? Now this is a Cardi I've had for quite a while. I have worn it before, but not for a long time. I have to keep looking in the main mirror, guys, because I can't really see that well in the camera. It's really nice. It's kind of furry. It's very soft, very furry, bit like a pencil case, really. Really lovely. I do like it. Love the colour. The combination with this white top and the jeans is quite good. I was going to put a skirt on. I might do when I get back from the doctor's. Depends how it warms up. It is supposed to warm up a bit more today. I think it's highs of 15 today. So that would be lovely if it gets to that. Right, start at the chin, work our way around, guys. Hold the hair back. It is absolutely spectacular outside now. The sky is so blue. There's not a cloud in the sky, guys. There is a breeze, but it's a very light breeze. So it looks, hopefully, like the day's going to turn out really nice. And I think tomorrow isn't supposed to be too bad either. I think it might be a little bit breezier tomorrow, but only a little bit. There was something somebody said on one of my videos not so long back, and they said they were a new subscriber and they'd been watching for a few days. And they said, can you tell us how you got to where you are today? I thought, wow. That'd take me ages to tell you guys that. Those who've been with me for a long time and those who've actually gone through all my videos will probably know the answers to that already. But those of you who haven't gone back through all the videos, and there's lots on there, guys. We're into the thousands. I think we're over 2,000, probably coming on towards 3,000, know me. Yeah, I can do, guys. I can tell you how I got started into cross-dressing. And I started cross-dressing from a very young age. I can remember because I was brought up with two sisters, they always had lovely clothes. And I started wearing, when they weren't there, I'd try on some of their clothes, guys. That's how it all started. And I got a real buzz from it, real buzz. Didn't want to take them off, just loved it. But obviously I couldn't keep them on. And we're going back to the 1960s here, guys. So it's a long time ago. And that's when I started cross-dressing. I started cross-dressing as a child. In secret, obviously. This carried on forever, guys. I have been cross-dressing ever since. But not to the extent that I am, obviously, now. Now I don't class it as cross-dressing now because this is me. This is what I'm all about, guys. I consider myself to be trans. A lot of people said to me, why do I call myself a cross-dresser? That was because I was cross-dressing, guys. But now that I'm taking the route I am taking, I am having surgeries done. I'm not going on the hormones. I was originally going to go into hormones, and I went that route and got in touch with my doctor's surgery, and went to my doctor, and he tried to sign me up to a gender clinic. But the only problem with the gender clinic, if I'd been a lot younger, I'd have done that and gone with it. But it's a really, really long-winded process, and I haven't got the benefit of time, guys. My age at the moment. If I had gone the gender clinic route, I wouldn't be where I am today, because they won't put you on hormones until you've been to be assessed. You have to go and have an assessment. So you sign up with the gender clinic, and then once you're signed up, you go onto a waiting list to be assessed. And then, I've lost my brush, guys. Oh no, there it is, it's right in front of me. And then once you've been assessed, if they then deem that yes, you are eligible to go on to hormones, you can start the hormones. Well, I was told when I first was going to sign up for this, that it would take at least the waiting list was at least 24 months long. And that's just for the assessment. So 2 years before you even get assessed. And then I did a bit more research on it, and I was people were getting in contact with me who'd already been on this and were still on it. And they said they were up to 3 years and still waiting for their first assessment. So you have to wait at least 2 to 3 years before you even get assessed. And then once you've been assessed, you then start the hormone treatment. And I hadn't got the benefit of the time, guys, because of my age. That'd be an issue. So I decided, after speaking to people and seeing other people who have already taken this route and how they blow hot and cold and how they have mood swings and things like that, I decided that I didn't want to go that route, because I didn't want to change like that. I didn't want to be affected by the drugs. I didn't want to have mood swings and be a different person. I love the person I am. I've always loved the person I am. So I thought I can get to where I want to go through surgery. That's what I'm doing. So yes, I now consider myself trans. I've now got my breast enlargements, guys. That happened in February. But yes, I'm going to accomplish everything I need to via surgery. I've started. There are other things I want to have done, but they're going to happen as and when. I want to get over this first, and then I'll start the next thing. I have got things I want to have done, guys. And I just love it. I just absolutely adore it. This is what I should have been. I wish I'd done this years and years and years ago, guys, but it wasn't. It didn't happen. And I wouldn't be the person I am today had I done this years ago. I'd be a totally different person. I've had so many life experiences, having been married and having children. That would have never happened if I'd done this when I was younger. But I do regret it in a way that I wasn't able to do it when I was younger. Yeah, maybe my next life. Maybe if you do come back in the next life, maybe I'll come back as a girl anyway. That would be lovely. That'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. But yeah, I am who I am. I tell the truth, guys. I don't lie. I tell it as it is. I have no secrets. I tell you guys absolutely everything. Everything that happens, you guys know. And I find honesty is the best policy. You can't trip yourself up. If you tell the truth, you can't get yourself in a mess. And I've always done that. I've always spoken the truth. If other people say something different, that's up to them, guys. But I'm telling you, I tell the truth. Where do I go with this? So at the moment, I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm living a daily life. I am still working, guys. I've got another 10 months and 19 days before I hit my retirement, guys. Yay. And I am retiring, but I am going to get myself another job, if you see what I mean. I'm in full-time employment at the moment, so I'm working 5 days a week. what I'd like to do when I hit retirement is leave the job I'm currently in. And those who follow me know I'm a motor mechanic. I've been a motor mechanic since I left school at the age of 16, guys. I went straight into an apprenticeship and became a motor mechanic. And I've stuck with it. And it's very rare you get an old mechanic. Most mechanics will go onwards and upwards. They go into the management roles. They go from being in the workshop to being a workshop controller to maybe being a foreman, possibly even running their own garage at the end of the day. That wasn't the route I wanted to take, guys. I wanted to be able to go home and forget about work. I didn't want to be working 24/7, guys. I wanted a life outside work. And so that's why I chose the route. Working 8 hours days and going home and forgetting about work. There's more to life than work, guys. And I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to be tied down owning my own business. Because that way you're working 24/7, guys. You just don't get any time off at all. And when I was younger, I used to do a lot of what they used to call private jobs. I used to look after people's cars. And I loved doing that. And it brought in a little bit of extra cash for me. But I haven't done that since over 20 years. I gave up over 20 years ago. The reason I gave up was I was working 5 days a week at my garage, and I was working evenings and weekends doing other people's vehicles. And I just wasn't getting the time I wanted for myself to do things I wanted to do. And so I gave it up. I was in a position where I could give it up. My wages from my garage were good. I'd got a good job. It paid well. It was a little bit stressful because it was a lot of diagnostic. What I used to do back then, when I was younger, was I used to be what they called a diagnostic technician. So I used to do a lot of diag work, and you were well paid for that. But you got lots of aggravation, lots of problem cars to sort out. And I did that for a number of years, but then when I left the mainstream garages, I went to what I call Fred in the Shed, the little backstreet garages. I started working for those, and I worked for those for about 2015, about 7 years, guys. I did on little backstreet garages, 1, 2, 3 of them. Great. A real eye-opener if you've worked in mainstream garages to go to a little garage. You have to rely on things like the internet greatly for research. Main dealers will not give you any information. So if you're in a small independent garage and you've got a problem with a car, and you phone up a main dealer garage, they won't help you. They're not allowed to help you. They don't mind you booking the car into them for them to have a look, but they won't really help you. And so you have to sort it out yourself. And that can be really frustrating because you haven't got the backup like you have in a main dealer garage. Main dealer garages, you have what they call a technical department where they can assist you. So if you're working on a specific make of car and you've got problems with it, you go through what I call a flow chart. You work through a sequence of processes to try and eliminate what the fault isn't and find out what the fault is. But then if you get stuck, you can phone up a technical department and they can give you some more information. Well, that's what you don't get in the independent garages, but you do get that in the mainstream garages, and that's really good. So yeah, I eventually went back to mainstream garages, or the franchised garages, back in 2015, so 10 years ago, guys. And I'm going to stick with it now till I retire. Obviously, I've got less than a year to go, guys. And I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not a diagnostic technician anymore. I'm just a floating tech. And by floating tech, what I do is if the garage I'm working for has got somebody on holiday or somebody off sick or somebody on a training course, then I can go to that particular garage, and there's lots of garages in our group. I can go to that particular garage and cover for that person while they're off. And then once they come back, I can move on to another site. That's the way it's supposed to work. doesn't really work like that at the moment, and it hasn't worked like that since probably COVID. When COVID hit, I was made to stay at one particular site because they didn't want me travelling between sites, because that could cause problem with transferring COVID from one site to the other, which I can understand. But then after COVID had gone, it never really got back to where it was to start with. So now I tend to get booked like I am now. I've been over at Cambridge for probably nearly 12 months, and now I've moved over to Bury St Edmunds, and I've been at Bury now since the beginning of March. So I've just done my first month at Bury, and I can't see that they're going to be moving me on anytime soon, guys. And that doesn't bother me, because Bury's lovely and close to where I live, and it's easy for me to get to Bury. I get lay-ins, so I don't have to get up so early in the morning. When I was working in places like Cambridge, I was having to set off to work at 6:30 in the morning to get there in time to start work, guys. So, and then the trip home was just as equally as long. I was travelling about 2.5 hours a day, just going to work and back. So I don't miss that, guys, not at all. If I trace that a little bit more, I've got to put my eyeliner on, guys. So I'm getting away from what the question was about how did I get into cross-dressing, how did I get to where I am today? Well, I started as a child. I started cross-dressing as a child in my lovely sister's clothes, which they didn't know, and they do since I've put my videos on YouTube. They know what I got up to. They didn't realise at the time. I actually got a message from my elder sister because she'd seen one of my YouTube videos, and she said, I didn't know you were wearing my clothes. So yeah, I kept that secret for many, many years, guys. My elder sister's only just found out about it. But like I said, I have no secrets anymore. I do not hold secrets, guys. I will tell everybody everything that happens. I think it's going on, guys. I can't see it. That's the problem when you wear glasses. You become more and more reliant on them. I think that's it, guys. Yeah, there you go. So, answer that question. Cross-dressed from a very early age, guys. I had two wonderful sisters, and they had beautiful clothes. It was the elder sister's clothes I obviously wore. The younger sister was too small. And I'd dress up at home. I wouldn't go out. I'd only dress up at home and then get changed again. And that's how it was for many years. I got into a gay relationship when I was 21 years old, and that carried on until I was 25 years old, and I loved that. And with a gay relationship, there tends to be a more dominant, as in one would play the male role and the other one would play the female role. Well, I was the one who was playing the female role, and my partner, he was like Freddie Mercury. He looked just like Freddie Mercury, guys. He was a fantastic fella. God rest his soul, he's not here with us anymore. He passed on. Nothing to do with being gay, guys. He got cancer and passed on many years ago, and I do miss him so much. Had I stayed with him, I don't think it would have worked because of what he wanted at the time. He was he liked multiple partners. He didn't like just one partner. He wanted multiple partners, and I wasn't into that. I wanted a one partner. So that didn't really work. So we parted our ways as great friends, and he actually ended up being my best man at my wedding. What a fantastic bloke. So after that, when I got married, the cross-dressing got put on the back burner because I was in such a loving relationship. The loving relationship faltered after about 10 years, and that drove me back into my cross-dressing again in secret. And it built to where we are today, guys. It built up to a divorce. It wasn't the cause of the divorce. The cause of the divorce was nothing related to my cross-dressing. Absolutely nothing to do with it. But that got thrown in the mix at the end, but it wasn't the reasons for the breakup. So I broke up the breakup started in 2023, and the divorce came through the very first month. It was January 2024 the divorce came through. So I've been divorced over 12 months now. Living full-time in my own house as April. I've got my 2 boys with me, as in Snoopy and Sooty. Still working, still travelling backwards and forwards to work. I present at work as April. Not dressed like this, guys. I have to wear a uniform, but I do present as April. So I've got the nails, I've got the long hair. I do put makeup on now. I've got high heel work boots, which, as you all know, if you've followed my recent videos, the manager isn't very happy about. But that's an ongoing saga, guys. So keep watching these videos and we'll see how it turns out. Anyway, let me put my lippy on because I'm nearly done. Time-wise, it's 20 to 9. I've probably got to leave here. If I leave here about 5 to 9, so I can get to the surgery. I'll put my lippy on, guys. Here we go. All right, I think that's it, guys. Sometimes when you try to be too critical with the lipstick, you make it worse. Sometimes you just slap it on and look back. That would do. I think that's better than trying to be too perfectionist with it. I am going to get my lips tattooed. Not yet. I did book myself in to have them done, but I was told by my beauty parlour who does my laser treatment that I need to finish the laser treatment before I go for the lip tattooing. So that's what I'm doing. So the lip tattoo is going to happen, but not until my laser on my facial hair is finished. So watch this space, guys. Yeah, work in progress. Right, I've got to sign out because I've got to get downstairs, see what my boys are up to, and I shall speak to you guys later. Okay, bye-bye for now.